To my fellow women, I will advise that we learn to let go. When we have peace in our minds, our home will be peaceful and the society will have more peace. And you can achieve this by learning to let go. Let go of negative energy, let go of anger, let go of anything that will stop peace between you and your husband or between you and your children. No matter how tough it is, no matter how annoying it would have been, no matter how alone you think you are, let go, relax, and it will give you peace and you'll be healthy and your family will be healthy.
Yes, my advice to men, first advice I will give to men is that they should be honest. Honesty in the marriage, in the relationship with your wife, your family. Don't carve yourself an image that is false. You should present yourself to your wife in the correct and true economic and social status to which you belong.
My fellow women, I will advise that you give what you expect from your man. Give that which you want to get from him, first of all. If you want him to be faithful, deliberately, consciously make the effort to remain faithful no matter what you are seeing from him. In the face of evidence of faithfulness, insist on being faithful. You are going to win the battle, even without putting up a fight.
To my fellow men also, I will advise tolerance. Women may be more emotional than men, and we must learn to be tolerant to women. Whatever the situation we find ourselves, with our wife, tolerance is advised for men.
I continue to advise us women to always act in such ways that will generate trust from our men. There's this temptation for us to hide what we have in our bank accounts. Just know that it is not the best for your relationship. I won't be telling you that the day the man finds out, the marriage will never be the same again. So if you value your marriage, learn to be transparent all the time. And over time, your husband will learn trust from you. He will trust you, and no outsider can separate you.
And to my fellow men, I also have this advice. Turn a blind eye to certain things your wife does, you're married. You do not have to see everything she does, and you do not have to comment on all of it. Learn to turn a blind eye to certain things.
Some of us women have this tendency to show apathy when it comes to our husband's profession, especially when it contrasts with what our own profession entails. Sometimes your husband may be discussing his day and it's not of interest to you, and you begin to exhibit that. The tendency is that you discourage him from talking, and talking is part and parcel of early marriage. You let him have a friend at home to discuss his day, to show interest in his profession, talk with him, encourage him, and he will come home happily to discuss his day with you.
To my fellow men, Show interest in the activities of your wife. Even though it may not be a professional activity, it may be just the housekeeping, preparing the meal. When you come back from your work outside, show interest in how your wife's day has been. Encourage her and support her. It's very useful. Your wife should be your friend, should be your best friend, and you are going home looking forward to seeing her and finding out how her day has been. Then, to my fellow men, I will also continue. Train your children to respect your wife. Train your relatives to respect your wife. Don't bring down her image in public. Always say things and organize things so that they will know that the respect for your wife is top in your mind.
For us women, the last thing we'll think about is conspiring with our children against our husbands, their daddy. The children may come in, you don't tell daddy. Blah, 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 blah. Mind what you're accepting, not to tell daddy. Always be in a position to accept not to tell daddy what you know will not negatively affect daddy or the family. If it is for daddy, what should I buy? Mommy, what should I buy for daddy for his birthday? You can, yes, conspire with them and decide what to pick up for him for his birthday. But when it goes against the interest and well-being of daddy or the family, don't cooperate.
And for my fellow men, a similar counsel will be, don't bring in a third party when you have a misunderstanding. Do not bring in a third party. If you should bring in a third party, you should be somebody who comes in as a professional counselor. Because if you just bring in anybody, any third party, instead of discussing directly with your wife and your family, you wouldn't know what their deep interests are, your family. So resolve your issues between yourself. You should use a counselor, let it be a professional who comes in on a professional level.
I will advise my fellow women, always show understanding, especially when economic challenges come, and they will surely come. Understanding and tolerance will bail you out. Always.
And to my fellow men, I will advise moderation in everything you do, in your expenditure. Don't go and spend all the money you earn in one day because you want to impress your family or your wife. Save for the rainy day, but surely they will come.
For friendships, it's advisable that women should be mindful of the friends they keep. Do not live to impress your friends. Your marriage is unique. What works for marriage A may not be what will work for marriage B. So always remember that your marriage is unique, and don't allow external influence from friends or otherwise to affect the well-being of your marriage.
Yes, for men too, I would like to advise, prioritize your family above every other relationship. Your mother is not an alternative to your wife. Your wife comes first. Don't give the impression to anybody that your wife is second, including your mother. Prioritize your family in everything you do.
It's advisable that in the face of arguments and your husband feels strongly about the issue and is insisting, it's advisable you go with your husband. Sometimes the issue, the argument is raising may appear pointless, but at the end of the day, sometimes you might likely discover that his argument holds the key to whatever the problem is. resolving it. At the end of the day, even if later you were right, you will learn from that. It's a lesson for you that you are tolerant and you were able to take his argument, irrespective of the fact that it may not be a conclusive point.
For my fellow men, you will realize that when you discuss with your family, even though there have been arguments, at the end of the day, you have been allowed to have the upper hand in the argument. Don't think you are law over your wife. Learn to listen to your wife, listen to her reasoning. Eventually, wisdom and guidance from what you have learned, garnered over the days, will intervene. In all things, also be prayerful, you and your wife. In everything, every situation, be prayerful.
I really agree with him on the point of prayers. In fact, every marriage should be based on trust in the Almighty. The wife should be the rock behind the spiritual growth of the family. So prayers is very important. But again, it's advisable that whatever we do it with moderation. Always match your maybe expenditure with the income of the family. It's good for us to look good, it's good for us to eat well, but then we still have to factor in the fact that the finances of the house should be able to bear this cost. I would like to advise us women to play our role as wives very well. Let us be there for him when he has need for that. Let us know that it is natural for him to want to have it. As long as we are healthy, the issue of being tired or being overworked, yes. But we have to know that we should also play our roles as wives, because it is very key to having us remain as friends. Beyond that, we have to realize that we could have competitors out there who are looking in his direction, and it will be in your best interest to be there for him, to prevent him from looking outside.